This is the story of Hypatia, a remarkable woman from ancient Greece, a woman of science, astronomy, philosophy and mathematics. Born between AD 350 and 370, she was a star of her day, but despite her popularity, a mob brutally attacked and murdered her. So let's go back to ancient Greece, where people lived in city-states. That's like London being a different country from Birmingham, or New York and Boston, or Beijing and Shanghai being different countries. They didn't play each other at football or baseball. Instead, they'd bicker and go to war. Yet ancient Greece had some of the world's cleverest people. We know this because they wrote down what they did and what they were thinking about, and by doing this, they built the foundations of our modern civilization. Without them, our lives would be radically different. But what do you notice when you look at them? There's no women. Women had few rights in ancient Greece, but in truth this varied from city to city and person to person. Pythagoras and Plato treated men and women as equals. Aristotle didn't. He thought women were inferior. The city-states joined forces to defend Greece from the invasions of the mighty Persian Empire. Then came Alexander the Great, king of Macedonia. He got the Greeks together and set off to invade Persia. Alexander never lost a battle. He beat the Persians and conquered Egypt, Afghanistan, Pakistan and parts of India. Then, still only 32, he died. Alexander had a hobby. He built over 70 cities and called them all Alexandria after himself. He built and named one city after his horse, Bucephala, now called Jhelum in Pakistan. They buried Alexander in the most famous of the Alexandrian cities, the one in Egypt. It's where Hypatia lived, and it's still called Alexandria today. Alexandria in Egypt became the great intellectual and cultural capital of the world. The Alexandrians had collected the wisdom of the ancient world, all written in books and scrolls, into the famous Library of Alexandria. For 700 years, scientists, mathematicians and writers worked in the city, studying and sharing ideas. Romans, Egyptians, Greeks, people from all over the Roman Empire lived there. Most of the time, Christians, pagans, Jews, all the religions lived peacefully together. We said earlier that women didn't figure in the life of the ancient world. This isn't strictly true. Some did, but men were A-list celebrities. But even the richest and most talented women barely made the B-list. One woman, Hypatia, didn't just get onto the A-list, she was the top of it. She was a mathematician, a scientist, a philosopher, a teacher, and a pagan. We often think of pagans as devil worshippers, but it simply means that you don't follow one of the main religions, like Christianity. In the Alexandria of AD 400, the pagans were all those who believed in old or updated Greek ideas. Hypatia was popular. Most people liked her. From all round the Roman Empire, rich nobles sent their children to Alexandria so Hypatia could teach them. A brilliant teacher, Hypatia had the knack of explaining ideas in a clear, exciting way, so people flocked to her public talks. The Christian Roman governor of Egypt, Orestes, was her fan and friend. The relaxed, tolerant attitude of the leading Christian bishop, Theophilus, meant everyone got on. Then Theophilus died, and his nephew Cyril became bishop. Everything changed. Under Cyril's leadership, Christians fell out with Christians, he got the Jews kicked out of Alexandria and stirred up anti-pagan feelings. People say he also wanted not just religious but also political power, and in an early example of fake news, he spread rumours that Hypatia got the Christian governor Orestes to follow pagan ways. On the 8th of March, 415, Hypatia gave one of her popular public talks. She got into her chariot and headed home. A Christian mob attacked her. They dragged her from the chariot and cut the flesh off her bones until she died. Then they burnt her body. Alexandria didn't suddenly stop being the learning capital of the world, but Hypatia's murder started its decline. Eventually, in AD 642, an invading Muslim army burnt the library to the ground.